Hello students, good morning and welcome back to the online class. So we were solving the problems on consignment account. So I think we all almost half completed the chapter. We solved the problems regarding the when the goods are consigned with the cost price, goods consigned with the invoice price, calculation abnormal loss. Okay, so similar type of problem we'll solve in the in this class as well as the coming class. Okay, so now we'll move on to the next problem. So take down this problem. So take down fast. Okay, so you have to prepare ledger accounts in the books of consignor. So only consignor. Okay, now we'll see who is the consignor and consignee. So files of Mangalore consigned goods invoiced rupees 5 lakh to Afnan of Kolkata. Now the goods has been consigned by Faiz to Afnan. So here Faiz is the consigner and Afnan is the consignee. So you have to prepare the ledger accounts in the books of Faiz. So the invoice price is 5 lakh after adding 25% of load on cost price. So this is very important. After. So this 5 lakh includes 25%. So first you have to calculate the cost. This 5 lakh is an invoice price, 25% is the load price on cost price. That is very important. On cost price, after adding 25%, you got 5 lakh means you have to find the cost. Okay. So first we'll calculate the cost. Okay, before that we'll discuss the problem. Files pay 10,000 for freight and 5,000 for insurance. So Files is the consigner, so entire expenses of consigner is non-recurring. 1/10 of goods were destroyed by fire in a transit. So this is abnormal loss. When the goods are in transit, 1/10 were destroyed. So you know that abnormal loss is valued at cost price. So first you have to calculate cost price. Okay, and sum of 36,000 was realized from insurance company. So this you have to take in the abnormal loss account. Afnan took the delivery of remaining goods, means after the loss of 1/10, what is left, he took the goods. He paid 6,000 for transportation. Now 6,000 is a non-recurring because it is transportation. 4,000 for go down rent and 12,000 selling expense. See, go down rent is incurred after assembling the goods, means after the goods reaches the gate of the go down, the expenses will incur. So this is recurring. Selling expense, after you receive the goods, then you sell the goods, right? So this is recurring expenses. Gate enter ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನ sell ಮಾಡುದು. So this is also recurring. So only one non-recurring, that is transportation of 6,000. 1/9 of remaining goods was again destroyed. So this is something new. See, already 1/10 were destroyed. 1/9 of remaining goods. What is remaining means after Afnan receiving the goods, of that 1/9 were again destroyed by fire in the godown of Afnan. See, in the first case it was in a transit, so only the non-recurring expense of consigner is to be added, that is proportionate. But on this value, you have to take the non-recurring expenses of consigner, that is similar to the first case, that is 1/10. As you are along with that, you have to take the proportionate non-recurring expense of consignee too, because this 1/9 of loss incurred after it reaches the godown, means after Afnan receive the goods, that loss has been incurred. The first case, it is in the transit. Transit means Afnan didn't receive the goods, right? So it is the consigner has to bear the loss. But this 1/9, after Afnan receiving the goods, that loss is incurred. So both the person has to bear the loss. Okay. Nothing was recovered. On this 1/9, nothing was recovered. Half of the original consignment. Now what is original? Original means the first invoice price. Half of this 5 lakh is sold for 3 lakh. Means 2 lakh 50 worth. Okay. Half of this 5 lakh means the value of the goods is 2 lakh 50. Half it was sold for 3 lakh. Consignee entitled to a commission of 5% on sales. Afnan sent the bank draft for the settlement of account. That is after selling the money, after the expenses were incurred for settlement, he will send the bank draft. Okay, you have to prepare ledger account. Now we'll start with the solution. First, we'll calculate the cost price. So, write calculation of cost price. Okay. First you write invoice, cost and load. Now you write load, that is 25, that is on cost price. So cost is 100. If you add, you will get invoice. Then you fill the values. That is, you know what is invoice price. You know what is invoice price. You don't know what is cost. Now you do the cross multiplication. You will get to the cost price. That is 5 lakh into 100 divided by 125. So my cost price is 4 lakh. So next we'll calculate the value of abnormal loss. So draw the lines. Now first we'll take when the goods lost in transit. When goods in transit, there are two type of abnormal loss. So first we'll take first we'll solve with the first abnormal loss, that is when goods in transit. First you have to take cost of goods lost. You have to take the cost price, okay, not the invoice price. So whenever you calculate the abnormal loss, it is cost price. So that is 4 lakh is the cost. On that 1/10, 1 divided by 10, it comes to 40,000. Okay, what next? So we have to add proportionate non-recurring expense of consignor. So entire expenses incurred by consignor is non-recurring. Okay, so it comes to 15,000. You know how to calculate this proportionate, right? So for 4 lakh, when the cost is 4 lakh, my expense is 15,000. Now my abnormal loss is 40,000. Then what is my total expenses? Okay, next. Now the goods has been lost in transit. So we should not add the non-recurring expenses of consignee. Okay. So because the goods lost in transit, the consignee is not liable to pay the or the bear the loss. So in the first case, my total loss is 41,500. Next, after goods received by consignee, that is the second case. Now you have to take the cost of goods lost. Listen, listen here. So the cost of the entire consignment is 4 lakh, out of which 1/10 were lost at the in that transit itself. That is the worth rupees 40,000, right? You don't add the recurring expense, you don't add this expense, this we add because on that the some expenses has been incurred, so we are adding. But what is the actual cost? Actual cost is 40,000. To manufacture the goods you incur, sorry, 4 lakh. In that 110 means 40,000, so 40,000 is the cost incurred for manufacturing the abnormal loss units. Okay, so when it was in transit it lost 40,000 means Afnan received only 3 lakh 60 worth goods. Afnan received only 3 lakh 60 worth goods. Okay. Now, when he received 3 lakh 60 worth goods, there was a fire in the godown and 1/9 were destroyed. So we have to calculate on the remaining goods 1/9, that is 3 lakh 60,000 into 1 by 9. It comes to 40,000. It is not that this 40,000 I directly taken here. No, it is that the remaining goods on at 1/9. Okay. Okay, next. You have to add the proportional non-recurring expenses. It is same in the first case. Okay, sorry. It is the same amount that we took in the first case because the entire expenses incurred by the consignor is non-recurring. So, what proportionality incur on the abnormal loss when the goods are in transit? Same proportionality will incur because he has sent 44 lakh worth goods, right? He sent 4 lakh worth goods, but the consignor is at only 3 lakh 60. So the consignor incur entire 15,000 on 4 lakh, not 3 lakh 60,000. Okay, so it is similar, same figure, but the consignee incurred expenses only for 3 lakh 60,000 and not for 4 lakh, because 40,000 worth it is lost in transit. So he received only 3 lakh 60. On 3 lakh 60 he incurred some expenses, not on 4 lakh. But consignor he incurred the expenses entire value of the goods, that is 4 lakh entire goods. Okay, so it is 6,000 into 40,000 divided by 3 lakh 60. Okay, next, if you add 41,500 and 42,167, you will get the total abnormal loss. So my total abnormal loss is 83,667. Next, we'll calculate the value of consignment stock. Okay, so the FIs has invoiced the goods worth rupees 5 lakh, correct? Out of which 1/10 were lost, 1/9 were lost again in the go down, and half of the original consignment were sold. So first we have to calculate what is the goods left, the value of the goods left with the consignee. So now invoice price of goods consigned. So we have to we take the invoice price when we calculate the consignment stock. So consignment stock is valued at invoice price. So it is 5 lakh. So now all the calculations should be done on 5 lakh. Okay. Now we will deduct the loss of goods in transit. Though when we calculated abnormal loss, we took it on 4 lakh, but the consignment stock we have to take it on 5 lakh. Okay, why? Because the goods has been invoiced, out of which we have sold, out of which there was a loss, everything after deducting everything, what is left, that's itself the consignment stock. So we have to take the invoice price. 1/10 of 5 lakh will come to 50,000. Again we lost in go down, that is 1/9. Now how you got 4 lakh 50? 5 lakh worth goods were invoiced, that is consigned, out of which 50,000 were destroyed. So 5 lakh minus 5 lakh minus 50,000 comes to 4 lakh 50,000. Okay, after received 4 lakh 50 worth invoiced goods, of that 1/9 it will comes to 50,000. They have sold, the Afnan has sold some value of goods. How much is sold? See, don't take the selling price. That is the selling price. That is nothing to do with the stock. That is the closing stock. But to sell at the rate of 3 lakh, there should be some cost price. This is selling price, but we have to deduct cost price. Now, what is the cost price? See here, it is half of the original consignment. Original means 4 lakh 50, not after deducting this, it is on 5 lakh, on 5 lakh. Original cost of consignment is 5 lakh, out of which that is half, that is 2 lakh 50 worth sold for 3 lakh. So it is 5 lakh into half. The cost is 5 lakh, sold it for 3 lakh. So 3 lakh is nothing to do with the consignment stock calculation, but we need to know what is the cost price. If you deduct, you will get the invoice price of goods unsold, means 1,50,000 worth the goods are still in stock. So whenever you calculate the consignment stock reserve, okay, this is invoice price, so there should be a load price, right? We have to deduct that, we have to adjust the load price. Whenever you calculate the load price, that is on closing stock, you have to calculate on 1,50,000. Okay, so when we prepare the ledger account, again I will explain this point. So now we'll move on. Now you have to add proportionate non-recurring expense. Now why proportionate? Because in this problem there is no abnormal loss. Sorry, there is no normal loss. When there is no normal loss, you have to add proportionate. If there is normal loss, then you have to add total. So again the cross multiplication. So the consigner incurred 15,000 non-recurring expense on 5 lakh. You have to take 5 lakh now because that is my base. We want it for 1,50,000. It comes to 4,500. Next consignee. Consignee ka only 6,000 is non-recurring. That he incurred on 4,50,000. This is very important. So please concentrate. Now it is on 4,50,000 because consignee received 4,50,000 worth goods only. Means after 50,000 was lost in transit, he received only 4,50,000. Means he incurred on 4,50,000. So it comes to 2,000. So from 1,50,000 plus 4,500 plus 2,000, you will get the payment stock. Okay, next to draw the lines for the ledger accounts. Okay, first we have to take the goods sent on consignment, that is the invoice price. So next sentence, that is on the expenses incurred by the consignor. So you have to write to bank. So the expenses incurred by FICE, that is 15,000. Next, there is an abnormal loss. So that is working note number 2. Working note number 2, 83,667. So next, the expenses incurred by consignee, that is Afnan. Expenses incurred by consignee, that is Afnan. Next, that is the goods sold. So here you have to take the selling price, that is by Afnan. Afnan sold the goods for rupees 3 lakh. Next, commission, that is on sales, 3 lakh into 5%. Okay, next we have to adjust the load price. The first we have to adjust on the goods consigned, that is 5 lakh is the invoice price, cost price is 4 lakh, the difference is load price. So first you have to deduct it, or you have to adjust from the goods consigned. So that is 1 lakh. Okay, next. Okay, next you record the closing stock, that is consignment stock, 1,56,500. Next, you have to adjust the load price on closing stock. Okay, so the load price is included in closing stock, you need to adjust. Now whenever you adjust, it is not on 1,56,500. See, in the previous problem we were given the number of units and the cost price per unit, or we calculated the cost price per unit, so we directly multiplied with the units, right? But in this problem we don't know what is number of units, but still you have to calculate the load price. And you remember one thing, it is not on the total value, because this total value includes the non-recurring expenses of both consignor and consignee. So that is not actual value of that stock. So how to find the actual value means you have to calculate on the actual cost to manufacture that much, how much cost you incurred. So you write to consignment stock reserve, to consignment stock reserve. So consignment stock reserve is not calculated on 1,56,500. It is calculated on 1,50,000 on this price. Means this we add after production. So after production means this is not a part of production, but 1,50,000 we incurred to produce that goods. So on 1,50,000, it is 25 by 125. How it is 125? Say 1,50,000. 1,50,000 is a invoice price, right? Invoice price means after adding load price. So 100 plus 25, 125. See, working out number one, my invoice price is 125. I want what is my load price. See, I am deducting the load. Reserve means I am deducting the load. What is the percentage of load? 25. Then what is 25? So cross multiplication. I repeat, 1,50,000 is the invoice price. That is nothing but 125%. How you got that 125%? So cost is 100. Cost is 100. Load is 25. Then invoice price is 125. Now we want what is 25%. So 25%, then it is how much? It will come to 30,000. So the difference is transferred to P&L account. Now you do the total and calculate the P&L value. So total 6,40,167. Difference 58,167. So next you draw the lines for consignee's account, that is Afnan's account. So draw the lines fast. Okay, first you have to transfer the items from consignment account. You see consignment credit side there is 2 Afnan. Here it is by Afnan. So in consignment it is 2, sorry, Afnan's account it is 2 consignment, that is 3 lakh. 3 lakh. So this one by Afnan 2 consignment. So if any bills drawn, then you have to write by bills receivable. So in this problem they have not drawn any bill. So next you record these 2 items, that is on the credit side. That is first one by consignment, that is 22,000 expenses, and by consignment that is commission 15,000. If you do, then the balancing figure is transferred to bank account. Now we find the difference fast. So the total is 3 lakh and the difference is 2,63,000. Okay, so after that you draw the lines for abnormal loss account. Okay, so abnormal loss again, that is there in the consignment account, that is by abnormal loss, then you have to transfer it on the debit side, that is to consignment, that is the total value. See, we have incurred loss, that is twice we have incurred abnormal loss, that is first one in transit, second one in go down. So we have to add it and you have to take it here. And we received the claim from the insurance company for the first loss, so that you have to enter, that is by bank account. Sorry, here it is by bank account, by bank account, here by bank. Okay, there's a spelling mistake here. By bank account, difference is transferred to profit and loss account. Now we find the difference. Total 83,667 and the difference 47,667. Next, the last ledger account, that is goods sent on consignment account. Goods sent on consignment account. So two entries, that is first one, that is the goods sent on consignment. Here we debited. So in goods consignment you have to credit consignment account, and one more here we credited. In goods sent on consignment you have to debit consignment. The difference is transferred to trading account. So total 5 lakh and the difference is 4 lakh. Okay, so I conclude today's class till here. Today's class. Um, the remaining we'll see in the next class. Okay, the remaining problem we'll see in the next class. So thank you. Take care. Bye.